Bold TV.
Hello and a very good morning to you ladies. How are you this Saturday morning? I hope you are doing well and taking good care of yourself out there. I am happy to welcome you to today's episode of Bold Heart TV. Today we are prompted to remind you of self-care, that self-care is very important. We want to remind you that you should be kind to yourself. Don't be too busy for yourself. Love starts from you. You must first love yourself before you can love your neighbor or anyone else. Today we have in the studio, today we have with us very amazing ladies who have been working hard to ensure that we enjoy our Saturday mornings by bringing in various educative and inspiring episodes on this station. Let me remind you again that you can connect with Bold Heart TV on various social media platforms from your Facebook, and we also have our YouTube channel. Please don't hesitate to subscribe and to like our YouTube channel, not just for yourself, but for others around you, your loved ones. This is beneficial not only for ladies with disabilities, but for everyone. Ensure that you share this information with everyone close to you. On today's episode, we have our ladies in the room, and I would like them to introduce themselves.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Frankie Andrew Essien. I'm based in Port Harcourt in Rivers State. I'm with ED of Fair Care Foundation, a member of Bold Heart Initiative, a public health professional, and I use a wheelchair from spinal cord injury. So as always, you're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome.
Good morning, lovely people. Welcome to Bold TV. My name is Afiom Etum. I'm based in Uyo, the beautiful capital city of Akwa Ibom State. I'm a medical lab scientist. I'm a member of Bold Heart Initiative, and I use a wheelchair from spinal cord injury. Welcome.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning, online audience. I remain Osaki Terry. I reside in Port Harcourt, River State. Polio warrior, a member of Bold Heart Initiative, volunteer in Fair Care Foundation, freelancer, and a farmer. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And today we have a special guest in the house, Dr. Velda Martins. Dr. Velda, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Velda Martins. I'm based in Minna, Niger State. I'm the CEO of Succeeding Against All Odds, a lecturer in a federal university. I'm a mother of two. I'm a businesswoman, a mental health specialist. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Velda, are you a person with disability? Can you please tell our audience?
Yes, I'm a proud, beautiful lady with disability. I'm thriving against all odds.
Thank you. Dr. Velda is an amputee. And my name is Florence Marcus, a lawyer. I live and work in Abuja. I'm an amputee, and I'm your host for today. Thank you. Sit still and follow this episode to the letter. I believe that you will not regret being part of it today. Thank you. So ladies, we need to go into our conversation for today. Like I mentioned earlier, our topic for today is self-care. What does self-care mean to you personally? Can we start with you, Dr. Velda? What does it mean when you hear the word self-care?
Yes, to me personally, self-care is making intentional move or an act, deliberate act of taking care of yourself as a person.
Thank you so much for that response. I like the word being deliberate. Sometimes there are a lot of issues, but you have to be deliberate. You have to make an effort in order to achieve that. Osaki, can you tell us what self-care means to you?
Okay, thank you very much. I'll add to what Dr. Vada has said. I'll say that self-care is the ability to consistently maintaining yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, otherwise, with the information and knowledge you have around you. Thank you.
Wow, thank you again for that. You see, we are getting new, insight to self-care. It's not just about yourself. And Osaki has explained what consists of self, but mental, emotional, and physical. Frankie, can you respond to this question too?
Okay, thank you very much. So for me, self-care is not necessarily the absence of a condition or an illness or anything, but rather it is the ability to take good and proper care of oneself, initiated from self. So it's not about others caring for you, but it is care that is initiated from you. And it's kind of important, because if you do not initiate care from yourself, it means you're not aware that you need it. So it's care, not necessarily the absence of ill health, but it is care that's initiated from oneself. I think it is.
Well, thank you for that interesting insight. Afia.
Yes, for me, I would say personally, self-care is prioritizing your well-being, regardless of what you have going on around you, regardless of your schedule, regardless of everybody else. Prioritizing your well-being, being willing to put aside everything else and putting you first whenever it is necessary. Creating time for you, putting you ahead of everything else, because everything else you're able to do will proceed from the you that is available, whether you are well or not. So for me, that's it. Putting you first, that's self-care.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You have to be intentional about you, and you have to create a balance, especially from the last two responses that we have. You may have issues around you. In fact, that is what even calls for self-care. When you are having issues, you don't just relent, but you try to strike a balance between the issues that are happening around you and your own life, your own health, your own well-being, and your happiness. You don't just wait and, concentrate on the issues, but you have to look. And this also involves looking for ways to even solve those issues going around in your life. So I would like us to share our personal experiences. Like, I believe that all of us practice self-care. What are some self-care practices or some routines that you carry out daily or that you find very effective, in taking care of yourself? Can we continue with you, Afia, on this?
For me, self-care daily means finding time to unwind. And by that, I mean that no matter whatever I have scheduled to do, no matter how busy, whenever I listen, I'm always self-aware. I'm always aware of my emotions per time. I pay attention to what's going on inside my mind. The minute I find myself losing focus, the minute I find myself, getting upset, I stop and I ask myself, what's going on here? If I need a break, I put aside everything else. It doesn't matter how important it is. I consider myself more important. So I put it aside and I just lie down and do nothing, or I just look for something that's relaxing. Sometimes I listen to music. Sometimes I read something that, doesn't require me to do a lot of mental, work. But I just ensure that I allow myself to rest. Physically, my body rests, my mind, my emotions. I take time to just connect with me, regardless of whatever. Everything else can wait. And after, when I am sure that I am, I've recovered, I feel restored, I can now go back and face whatever is there. So that's what I do.
Wow, thank you. So it's all about you. It's all about knowing yourself. It's all about knowing what works for you and deciding what works for you. And like Frankie said earlier, it is not about what other people tell you or what you read. Yes, that can serve as a guide, but you know yourself better than anyone else. So you have to take time to know you and what works for you. Dr. Valda, can you comment on this?
Yes, self-care actually is not just taking care of your physical body. It entails your mental health, your psychological, and your total well-being, you as a package, the whole of you. Because some people may misunderstand self-care as in just bathing, wearing good clothes, putting makeup or makeover, that's self-care. No, it goes beyond that. It goes beyond if your mental health, the real you, because the real you is your mental health, because it's your mental health that affects the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act or interact with people. So it's the whole package now that you have to take care of. Like for me as a person, I am one person that I like comfort, seriously like comfort. I like to play, I like to help people. And again, in self-care, it's not what applies to you or what works for you may not work for me because we are different individuals. One thing does not work for everybody. For instance, somebody says, okay, I unwind. It depends on what you unwind with. Like somebody like me, I unwind with helping people. It's part of unwinding for me. It's part of me taking care of myself. When I am given opportunity to talk to people, to counsel, to actually speak to people, to make them feel better, it makes me feel better and I'm okay with myself. Then I like to eat good food. It's a way of me, taking good care of myself. Like before now, I am one person that used to place everybody before me. If you're around me, I just want to be okay. I put myself last. At times, I don't bring myself in. I was not prioritizing myself until it got to a point. I got a very big slap on my face. I was like, Valda, sit down. That was when I started taking care of myself. I still have other people, but it's now me first. I was practicing it, It was when that love your neighbor as yourself. Before, I was loving my neighbor before me, not as me. So but now the way I take care of myself is I eat good food. Like before me, I even have one my domestic style just place something before me to eat. I like to eat well. I walk a lot. I walk almost around the clock, but I find time to actually rest. Like for instance, one way I take care of myself is I actually make sure that my domestic staff work for me. Instead of coming from here and there and start going up and down, whatever, I make sure they do part of the work. Why I do more of the reading and more of the other things that I do, then and I try to make out time to rest. Then at times I go to the gym when I can. Like when I was not as busy as I am now, it was a daily thing for me. Morning and evening I go to the gym, but right now is when I have time. So I actually do things that make me happy.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. What about you, Osaki?
Thank you very much, Florence. As for me, how I do my self-care is on one, spiritual self-care. I think I engage myself in things that will build my soul. For example, I do meditation highly. I do prayer and I spend time in nature. Funny enough, where I live now is a rural area. So you hardly see things that are so modernized. So it's all full of plants. That's what you see. So it's really a nature area field. And also what else I do social self-care where I spend time with loved ones, people I know loves me, that I'm sure they love me, that's my interest, So I try and see how I can make sure that I have a healthy relationship. I think those are the few things I do as self-care. Thank you.
Thank you. Peggy, would you want to share your experience with us? I know that our listeners will benefit from it.
Okay, thanks everyone. Currently, I need self-care. So, yeah. So, Dr. Valda, please send the mail across. Okay, so one of the things that I've found that has helped me, this trending thing to be demure and mindful. I just had to put it in there. Mindfulness and being demure. Said that it helps. So, in the busy hustle, I just ask myself, what's all this running around for? So one of the ways I do self-care is that I find quiet. So the other time I told my friend, I just told you I need quiet. I'm like, what's wrong? I said, there's a lot of noise. I just need quiet. Like I need everyone I need to be awake, quiet. So my brain is always awake. So I said, the outside is adding to it. So I need a bit of quiet. So that helps me a lot when I'm just still. The other thing that helps me greatly is music. Music helps me to focus. So if I'm finding myself unable to concentrate and I'm doing some work, if I put on some music, I focus better. And then another way I also engage in self-care is that I take myself out. I treat myself to something. So if I'm feeling a bit like choked up, I will, even if I don't have money, I'll just go to the shop and do, it's called window shopping. It's really blessed. Don't feel bad about it. But if you cannot go out to the online shop, fill your cart with joy. Not to, you must not check out. I'm telling you the truth. Great therapy. You must not buy it. Just enjoy. Don't be shopping after you empty the cart again. And then finally, apart from taking myself out, I give myself treats so I can sit and I'm like, I think I'm deserving of ice cream today, and I do it with great joy. Or I'm deserving of great makeup and great photo shoot. I think that helps to just get your mind off pressure. You just enjoy yourself for a moment, and then you have energy to refire. So there's more, but these are some things that I've done in recent times, especially when I feel overwhelmed with the many things going on around me. So yeah, thanks.
Thank you. You know, ladies, you have to celebrate yourself. You have to give yourself some gifts. You know, you have to pamper yourself. Don't just wait for someone to take you out. And when you don't have the money, do the window shopping. And once in a while, please, you don't need anybody to go to a good restaurant or to go for an ice cream or something. It helps a lot, and it helps you, you know, especially with your mental well-being. One thing for me is my daily time with God. Like, I start the day with reading the Bible. Lately, I love to just read some passages in the Bible, not just devotional, but just read the Bible, and it has really been helping my mind. And my day mostly is not completed if I had not done that. And I also try some exercises like Dr. Valda said. Recently, I started learning how to swim, and most times when my head is clogged, I go to the pool and just try to like exercise both my physical body and also my mind. And like every other person has said here, please be kind to you. Be kind to yourself. Think about yourself first before others. Yes, it's good to think about yourself, about others. It's good to think about work. It's good to think about other commitments that we have. And this leads to the next question. We are surrounded with a lot of issues. We are surrounded with a lot of issues around us. Be it work, be it family, you know, for those who are studying, your studies, and relationship issues. But how do you balance this? We have said a lot of things that we are doing about ourselves. How do you balance this when you are confronted with taking care of yourself as against other commitments that you have? Frankie, can we continue with you, please?
So I must confess I'm actually terrible at balancing. I don't know if I'm the best person to answer that question. I walk like a jockey.
No, but we know that you have a lot of things. How do you manage? How do you manage to do all these things and then take care of yourself? You have told us the things that you are doing, and I know that there must be a balance somewhere.
Okay, so this balance, I think it comes from friends and family that remind me to go and rest, or remind me to go and do this, or remind me to go and do that. So I think that support helps, because sometimes I'll not remember and I get very tired, or I'm doing too much. Or sometimes they remind me that I can take a break from something, you know, like, especially having done so much. I'm like, they're like, you can avoid not going there. You don't need to go there, because you have the option of doing it later. Like, they remind me to actually find a way to shut down so that I'm here for longer. So I think for me, the people that help are family and then friends around me.
Okay, thank you. And I want to add another reminder today that you should please try to prioritize yourself. Do some planning if necessary. And I think in the planning, yourself would come.
Well, I'm very good at planning.
I'm
fantastic at planning, but I think I'm like Dr. Wilder. I forget to plan my own inside there. So planning is get everything done, and then you forget that you need to also plan like those gaps. But I'm doing better at this. I mean, my body told me to, so you can see that, madam, you want to go. So I'm doing better now with having to like literally be still and like shut down, you know. And if I don't, my body tells me, Auntie, it's okay. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. You know, sometimes we get overwhelmed with issues, not just issues, you know, confronting us. Let me share a personal experience. I didn't find it easy 2 weeks ago, and not because of personal issues. But you know, when you wake up today, somebody is calling you and saying, oh, I'm dying of cancer. Another person is calling you to say, this is what happened to me. I was kidnapped, my child was killed, sending you gory pictures, you take that in. Another person is telling you, oh, my wife is very, very sick and all. You know, you get all depressing messages at once. If you don't take care of yourself, those things may have a way of dealing with your mental health, not really issues that relate to you. And these are some of the things that we need to know to strike a balance and don't allow other issues overwhelm us. Can we hear from you, Osaki?
Okay, thank you very much, Florence. Like we've all said, when it comes to work activities, once exhausted, I stop. But there's another thing that really happens. At times, I just feel like I want to rest. And after the rest, you now over-rest. And you feel empty that, the whole day I didn't even do anything. So in between that, let me just rest. I check me like, hey, I've got rest too. I have to do something because I say that you rest. You over-rest, like, wow, I didn't do today. You're so empty and blank. So I think in between the rest and overwhelmed, I try to check so that I don't feel too empty with doing nothing. I must do something. Then as for friends and family, I try to put myself in their face at times, because at times they might forget. You know, disability thing is something that makes one, if not careful, they sideline you. So they're like, I'm here, I can do this thing. So you put me into the budget or in the plan, and that makes me happy and gives me proud, you know. So I think those are the kind of things I really I try to see how I can manage work, family, and friends. Thank you.
Thank you. What about you, Dr. Valda?
For me, I like to plan. I plan ahead. I'm one person that I actually don't like stress. So because of that, I plan ahead. Like because of the work I do as a lecturer, you can't have classes and say you will not go. You take undergraduate, take postgraduate, you supervise researches and all that. They give you review and you must meet up with them. So what I do is I plan my time very well. Every night before I sleep, I plan what I'm going to do the next day. For the whole week on Sunday, I actually take my time to get my my journal. Then for the whole week, I plan my week. Though at times there are some things that are coming, you know, maybe calling to come and talk in a place and they didn't tell you on time. So I look for a way to just put them in. So I plan a lot. And now that children are on break, I have 2 girls and I like to go to Abuja very well because Abuja is where I have my friends that I play so well. I always tell people my spirit is in Abuja, my body is in Minna, being that I grew up in Abuja and my friends are there. So, but now since holidays, I've actually not gone to Abuja. Everybody's like, what's happened? You are still in Minna, you never travel, you never come Abuja, because I decided to create time for them. All my activities, I limited them to within Minna so that I can have time to take care of my children during the holidays, then my job, then my personal office. So that's just how I do the whole thing, planning. That's how I'm able to just manage, if not by now. So I plan my time ahead. Like today now, because I know I had this on my exam questions, test questions, I've already set all of them down today with my marking scheme and all. So that when they say, okay, where is your marking scheme? You have 12 hours to bring, my own is already ready because I know how I am. You know, when I was growing, my grandmother would always tell me, animal will not get mouth, now be first under food. So I still use that principle till today. I make sure I plan ahead of time so that I'll be able to balance my family, my work, and other jobs, social jobs that I do. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Afia, your turn.
If there's one lesson I've gotten to learn, according to one of my mentors, this life no go ever balance. This life will not ever balance. Rather, what she said was that you practice essentialism. Rather than saying you want things to balance, it will not balance. Some things will always be more, you always prioritize some things more than others. So find what is essential per time. What do I need to do at this time? What is the most important thing I need to do at this time? So find what is essential per time. And you know, one thing I've come to know is that rest is a skill. Recently, I realized that I had to learn how to rest. Because sometimes what we call rest, you know, you go and lie down, like Osaki said, your brain is telling you, why are you lying down when there are 10,000 things to do? My friend, get up. You're resting too much. So I have realized Sometimes I need to lie down. I have to set an alarm. I tell myself, until that alarm rings, you're not getting up from here. Because the minute I close my eyes, my brain is running around at 10 miles, 1,000 miles per hour, reminding me of many things I have not yet done. So I tell myself, everything else can wait. Because if anything happens to me, none of those things will matter. So I make sure that when it comes to rest, it has to be factored in. It has to be planned. I find what makes me feel good, and I focus on it. And I refuse to feel guilty for resting, because sometimes guilt can prevent you from actually resting properly. You feel guilty for resting because you feel like, I haven't done something. Even if I need to just play hooky the rest of the day, I don't mind if that's what I need at that moment. So that's what I have to say. Rest is important.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's very valuable. If something happens to you today, life goes on. Your family will go on. Your work will go on. In fact, they'll forget about you immediately. So why not take care of yourself, ladies? You have heard from these amazing ladies what is working for them. And I believe that this will inspire you to start prioritizing yourself, to start taking care of your mental health, your physical health, and your spiritual well-being. Ensure that you live a balanced life. So on this note, we have come to the end of our episodes for today. But let me remind you again, please subscribe, like, and share our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. They are very valuable resources that you can use both for yourself and your family members. Please stay tuned to this station next week, Saturday, and same time. God bless you. Have a blessed weekend. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
This is Bold TV.